He thought it was just another quiet morning by the water, until something beneath the surface blinked back at him. The lake had always been calm. Too calm, some people said, but to me, it was peace. A place where the world slowed down, where the noise in my head finally softened into something manageable. That morning started like any other. I woke up early, before the sun fully rose, and walked the familiar dirt path down to the shore. I set up near the same spot I always used. The water looked darker than usual, but I didn't think much of it. Primera castim. Malay waited. Minutes passed, then more. Silence wrapped around me like a blanket. That's when I saw it. At first, it was just a ripple. Small, circular, like something had moved just beneath the surface. But then the ripple stopped and didn't fade. It stayed there, perfectly still. And then something blinked. I froze. Because whatever was in that water, it wasn't a fish. I told myself I imagined it. The brain fills in gaps, creates patterns where none exist. Made sense. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling. I stood up and moved closer to the edge. The closer I got, the darker the water seemed. Not deep. Another ripple. Closer this time. I leaned even further, my reflection now faintly visible in the surface. Then I saw it again. Not clearly, but enough. A shape. Round. Pale. And unmistakably. I stumbled back, heart suddenly hammering in my chest. "Nope," I whispered. "Nope, I'm done." I came back that evening, and the next morning, each time, the same thing happened. It became an obsession. One night, I brought a camera. If I could capture IT proof, it tied finally. No, I wasn't losing my mind. Midnight came and went. A thin mist crept over the water, curling like smoke. Then the camera screen flickered. Not in the water, but on the screen. Behind me, a pale shape hovered just behind my shoulder. I spun back to the camera. The shape was gone. That's when it hit me. It wasn't just in the water anymore. I barely slept. Every time I passed a mirror, I hesitated, because for a split second, I thought I'd see it again. The next day, I retrieved my camera. The surface of the lake began to ripple, then more violently, like something was rising. And then, it appeared, a massive, pale sphere. Just beneath the surface, an eye. Too large. Too still. It wasn't just watching randomly. It was watching me. Specifically, that night, I made a decision. I was going to end it. I returned to the lake after sunset. "Show yourself," I said, my voice trembling despite my effort to sound steady. The surface broke, and it rose. The eye, enormous, pale, unblinking. It hovered just beneath the surface. It blinked, not an image, a memory. My memory, childhood, mistakes, fears, regrets all. Flashing in an instant. "Stop!" I shouted, collapsing to my knees. But it didn't stop. The water surged forward, and suddenly I was falling. When I opened my eyes, I was still by the lake. Normal. Too normal. I looked at the water. Just my reflection. But then my reflection blinked. I didn't. Slowly, I raised my hand. The reflection didn't follow. Instead, it smiled. I had been replaced. The thing in the water. It didn't come out. It pulled me in, and now I'm the one beneath the surface, watching, waiting. For the next person to look a little too closely into the water and see. Something blinked back.